Here's one of our favorite clips from Neighborly Discourse with Billy and Steve.
Yeah.
But going back to my Bari Weiss thing, she worked for Wall Street Journal. They brought her in because they felt that she was left of center.
Yeah.
And they wanted to diversify their articles that they were producing because, Washington Journals is very right. No questions asked. They're unapologetic. But they wanted to have more balance, so they brought someone in who they felt was left of center. In the interview, they said, okay, so you had this great job. In fact, that's where we met was when you were working there. What happened? Why did you leave to go to New York Times? She said, Donald Trump. And he was like, what? What do you mean? And he said, because they brought me in because of how I see things, right? And so there are issues and topics that I would pull out that they wouldn't normally do it on their own.
Yeah, this is why she left New York Times.
This is why she left Wall Street Journal. She came out starting with Wall Street Journal.
Gotcha,
she left
okay.
one to go to New York Times.
Okay.
But she said she left Wall Street Journal because of Donald Trump, because the freedom that she had to pick and choose articles, pick and choose writers and whatnot, it stopped at Donald Trump. Like when it came to Donald Trump, there's like kid gloves you got to use.
Yeah.
And you can't, there's only so far we're willing to let you go.
Before he was a president.
Before he was president. This was like during his campaign trail. Now, she admits that she's liberal, right? Mm-hmm. And I assume that she is liberal like Dave Rubin is liberal, from that perspective, right? She admits that she's liberal, and I am not sure if how she was going to come after Donald Trump was going to be fair.
Okay.
Or was it going to be like animus, like the lady who's like, I hate Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So no matter what you say, I hate Donald Trump. I don't know if she was going to come at him like that or was she was going to really pull out some good stuff that we might want to know. But all I know is that because of their unwillingness to give her the freedom to go after it, she left. Went to New York Times. What's interesting about New York Times is that when she got to New York Times considered her right of center. And it didn't take long before she was the bad guy at New York Times. And people were railing against her and even abusive acts were committed towards her because she wasn't in lockstep with everything they were saying. Mm-hmm. One of the things she brought up was like the whole coronavirus thing. She was one of the first ones at the New York Times to say, hold on a second, I think you guys might be taking this a little too far. Oh my goodness. She's one of them, know, and they just railed against her. So it got to the point where it's so cantankerous at New York Times, she quit. Okay. Why am I bringing this up? Because I'm looking at this woman who's, educated, smart, thinks for herself.
Yeah, I have her quote right here.
What, about the New York Times?
Why she left.
Go ahead.
Stories are chosen and told in a way to satisfy the narrowest of audiences rather than to allow a curious public to read about the world and then draw their own conclusions.
There you have it. I'm glad you were able to read that because that pretty much was a synopsis of what she said. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, she's a 70%er. Just based on what you just read, right?
Yeah.
And I saw like an hour interview with her. She's a 70%er, and yet I know for a fact that her and I are at different spectrums in the political line, if you will.
But it sounds like she's open to conversation. She's not a shut down my way or the highway.
Right. Like,
I believe this, but why do you believe that?
Exactly. And here this person, a prominent person, she is saying that I've lived in a place. So this is what I'm trying to say. Dave Rubin, he's to the point where like, I'm on the right now, period. This woman is like, I'm not on the right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not on the right, but I recognize that the left is really bad.
Yeah.
And
so it sounds like she's on her way.
I don't know, man. I don't know if she's on her way because I've seen interviews with her.